All right, folks, welcome to week 33. Let's talk about what we're doing. So, we have been working through Unit 3. We've been talking about products, different types of products. We've been going into the life cycle of those products. We've been doing like sustainable design with those products. We've refreshed recently on design criteria and constraints, and hopefully we've refreshed on the engineering design process as a whole. Now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of work our way through an engineering design problem for a consumer product of your choosing. Now, if we were in school, we'd be like, if we were in school before this point, this would have been a group project, but I don't think that it is possible with the time that we have in school and the amount of days that we come to school. 2 days is not enough to do a group project. And because of that, it's even not enough to do this project in 1 week. I'm going to have to spread this project over maybe 2. I say 2, maybe 2.5. We'll see how it goes. So, the first thing you'll see is the project information read first. You need to read this in order to know what you're doing for this project. If you choose not to read it and it doesn't make sense, what can I do? Like, I've literally handed you a document that says read first and you didn't read it. Whatever. So, here you will find all the resources that I have linked in Schoology. I have them all linked here as well. So improve a product. Engineers and product designers can experience difficulty when generating concepts for new products or ideas for improving products. Creative brainstorming techniques are used to approach a problem from various angles and help overcome those roadblocks by sparking information. You're going to be using something called this, I don't even know how to say it, Scramper? We'll say Scramper. But this document goes over what the Scramper is and what the different letters mean, and then it goes over brainstorming and then a little bit more. So I just want you to read that quickly first and foremost. Moving on. We are down to this is the turn-in spot for the project itself, and this is part 1. So if you click on that, you'll see the submission requirements inside of it. These are everything you need for submission part 1. If you want, print it out, check it off as you go, whatever works best for you. Highlight it, scratch it out. Just make sure you have all these things before you hit that submit button, because if you don't, you'll lose points. So you should organize your submissions either by a Google slide or a Google Doc. Once you finish part 1 and 2, you will combine the documents for a completed project based on the order of the project checklist, which I have laid out for you. So you can see just because we're organizing it this way right here for our first submission doesn't mean it'll be organized that way for the last submission. If that means you have to move slides around, you have to move slides around. But here's that checklist so that you're, again, making sure you're including everything. I have broken this checklist down. Don't have to look down there. This checklist isn't everything you have to do for the first part, but this is everything you have to do total. But here, the following are the minimum number of slides or pages you need. Formatting matters for this project, so pay attention and take your time. If it does not look like a neatly put together portfolio, you will lose points. Check out the rubric if you have questions. So, first slide. I guess technically speaking, the first slide should be, what does it say on here now? You should have a title slide. Why do I keep doing that? Your name, period. Let's just get that straight. That was weird. And then you identify the product. So I don't have specific products picked out for you. I'm going to give you some ideas of products you can choose from, but I don't have one, so tell me what you've picked. Then you're going to complete a product disassembly chart and identify common materials used. So you'll have to go grab the product disassembly chart in order to do that. I have it linked. Make a copy, fill it out. That should be its own slide. Paste the picture in there. A complete inventory analysis. Again, I have it linked for you. Inventory analysis. Make a copy, fill it out, paste a picture. Then it says the design brief. Start completing the design brief. I recommend each of these get its own slide. Problem statement. If you don't know what the problem statement is, oh, and I do have a design brief template. You can see that for you. So you can make a copy and start filling this out. The client would be me. Target customer will depend on the product, So problem statement. If you don't remember what a problem statement is, go back to the week that we talked about the EDP and fill that out or figure that out. Then it says design statement. Again, if you don't know what a design statement is, go back to where we talked about the EDP, figure it out. And we literally just reviewed criteria and constraints. So come up with 3 criteria, 3 constraints. I should probably put that in there, because y'all are going to ask me. Okay, so this is what you need to submit for the first part of this assignment. It's broken down pretty well. Pay attention. When it says go to something, go to it. Fill it out. Don't jump around, because I think that's going to confuse you. I do have other things on here. For example, this these sample questions, that's technically only going to be used in part 2. So I'm just going to hide that. This is the rubric again. So these 3 I know you'll use. This is the checklist. This is the consideration, turn-in and requirements. And then here's just some more information I want you to read. That's what you're working on this week. We're going to discuss specifically what you're going to pick as your product here in a minute. But you guys can get started and I'll come around. Thanks, guys.